God. Ask God.
Hi, Scott. My name is Rakeem. I'm calling out of Richmond, Virginia. I'm not an FBA seller yet. I'm still in the research phase. I've only just learned about this concept just about a month ago. I've been on your amazingseller.com. I've seen the resource page is really great. Anyway, my question is, I haven't set up my seller's account yet. I want to know what is Amazon going to be looking for me to have in place before they will allow me to set up a seller's account. And also, what are some of the other legalities that Amazon might not particularly be concerned about, but need to have in place before I can engage in this business? If you could go over some of those particulars and anything that might be related to it that I don't even know to ask about. If you could speak to that, I really would appreciate it. Or point me to an episode where you've already covered it. All right. Thanks. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, Rakeem, thank you so much for the question. Thanks for being a listener. And yeah, I mean, getting started is the hardest part, right? But we need to kind of understand what is the first step. So, whether you are ready to start selling or not, you can always start in the product research. And I think that's kind of where you are, because we kind of want to see, like, can we find products? Can we find a market that we can tap into? So all of that, can be done without doing anything. You don't even need a seller's account, right? You can just start doing that. So anyone that's listening and wants to know if this business model is right for them, but they don't want to go ahead and start going through the setup process, you can do that. All right. Just go through the product research, phase and just start really digging in and starting to understand markets and stuff. So as far as the legal stuff, again, I'm not a legal advisor. I don't pretend to be. All I'm going to do is give you kind of my experience. All right. But there is an episode that I did, which was all the way back on episode 14. And so that's theamazingseller.com/14. We'll leave it in the show notes as well. But you can set up an account on Amazon with just your social security number. All right. And you can get started with that. Now, to do it where you're kind of protected and you're a real business, I'm using like air quotes and stuff, right? You definitely want to get an EIN number like as soon as possible. And an EIN number is really just your business number through the IRS. Okay. It's where they're going to give you that business entity. Okay. So that's the first step. The second step to that is really you should get an LLC. So when you want to, really make this thing legit, you're going to want to get an LLC. You can use LegalZoom. You can hire an attorney, all of that stuff. So, you will need that, but you don't necessarily need that to get started selling. Amazon doesn't require that. All they require is really for you to have a credit card on file. And they also want you to have, a social security number. Like that's really all that they ask. Now, if you're going to sell into a gated, category, well, that's different. Then you're going to need like a business entity. You're going to need some, invoices from, a business to your business. You're going to need some other things. But right now we're talking like really, really beginner stuff as far as like what you absolutely need. You only need like your social security number. That's what you technically need to get up and running. If you want to do retail arbitrage, you can start just doing it that way. So again, I would go back, listen to episode 14, and listen to that. And then, also, we've done other episodes, in the past that have talked more about the legal stuff and kind of like, trademarks and all that stuff, but I wouldn't really go there yet. I think me personally, I would start, with where you're at right now. Maybe you want to validate that you're even interested in this business model before you even start going through those legal things. So you might want to just do the product research thing and see if this is something that you want to really go into, because anyone listening right now, like this is a business model. It doesn't mean that this business model is going to be the right fit for you. There's other business models out there. The other thing that I should say, and you're going to hear me say this more as we move forward here, is that, this is like the starting point. This isn't like, go out there and put something up and start making money tomorrow. That's not this business model. It really isn't. If you want that type of business model, I'd say retail arbitrage, or go to garage sales and sell stuff on eBay, or go to Etsy and start a little shop there doing personalized goods. That's more, you're going to buy something, sell something, buy something, sell something. It's not more of you're building a brand around a market and then understanding that market and then communicating with that market. I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent or a rant here because I do feel strongly about that part of it. But in the beginning, we just got to get started, right? We just got to get started. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Do your homework, okay? Figure out what's right for you. But I would say to get started for, selling on Amazon, whether it's retail arbitrage or whatever, you just need your social security number and get yourself a seller's account. You're going to spend I think it's 39 or 40 bucks a month for that seller's account. And that's going to turn on all of the features as being a seller that you can tap into as well. So hopefully this has helped, and go ahead and check out that episode 14. I would strongly recommend that as well. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business. And this way here, you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.